You know what's crazy? You know, I mean, I'm talking about an American news story, but you know what's crazy? Like, not only do we make all the problems in our country worse year by year, for example, we've got the war on drugs. What is the war on drugs responsible for? Increased gang activity, increased gang violence, increased violence. If drugs were legal, gangs wouldn't exist, or at least they wouldn't in the way that they do now. The only reason gangs exist is because of U.S. law. U.S. law created gangs from nothing. Let's scroll back the clock to the Prohibition era of the United States of America. The mafia was just a bunch of ragtag losers that couldn't get their feet off the ground. They couldn't finance their criminal operations. They kept getting busted. They kept killing each other. But then what happened? U.S. policy said alcohol's banned. So a lot of the mafia, a lot of the separate families in the country, they got together and they decided, you know what? Let's stop killing each other for no reason. Alcohol is banned. Let's take advantage of this. And that's why the mafia rose to prominence in this country. Then fast forward a little bit into the 1970s and you see the Controlled Substances Act, right? Then you see the 96 crime bill a couple of decades later. What did that do? Well, that created entirely new black markets that the mafia had no part of. Now we have other kinds of gangs that are all across the country and they only have power because of drugs. If drugs were not illegal, gangs would not form around them. Therefore, they wouldn't have that power that they do now. So why am I talking about gangs? Well, you know, because we live in a fucked up hell world. We have kids killing each other in gang shootouts at school. So this is like one of those, like, you know, this is like when you're going to the grocery store and you see like those two brands that like did like a mashup, you know, like the fucking like Reese's peanut butter cup and then Hershey chocolate bar, like combo pack or whatever. You know, you ever see that kind of stuff where you have the cereals that it's like, you know, it's the Frosted Flakes and the Honey Smacks, right? This is school shooting and gang violence. Damn, that's a twofer. That's a twofer. Kids not only are bringing guns to school, but they're signing up for gangs and they're killing each other on the blacktop. So let's check this out. An 18-year-old gang member has been charged with murdering two teenagers who the authorities said were in a rival gang. The founder of a program for at-risk youths was also shot and was seriously injured. Goddamn. I wonder, like, what the Iowa, like, gang activity is. You know, you feel like it's pretty fertile ground, you know? If any gangsters out there, you know, in Iowa, let me know what the scoop is over there. An 18-year-old gang member cut off a court-ordered ankle monitor and went to an educational program for at-risk youths on Monday in Des Moines, where he fatally shot two fellow students who were members of an opposing gang, the authorities said. Isn't that great? Like, I just love the idea that kids are in gangs, man. Like, why are kids joining gangs? The answer? Because their parents are probably fucked up creatures, you know? Most parents in this country are garbage. Like, let's be honest. Like, a solid 80 to 95% of parents are trash. They're shitty fucking parents. They traumatize their children. They abuse their children. They neglect their children, right? And so we live in a society where most parents are garbage, right? And so kids are like, fuck, what do I do? Well, then we have gangs. And gangs love kids, especially kids from broken homes. What do? They say, yo, we got infinite money. You can have any kind of shoes and clothes that you want. You know, you can play Xbox wherever you want, you know. All you got to do is sell some drugs for us. Couple hours a day, don't worry, you know. Couple hours a day, and we got the rest of you. I mean, hey, if I'm a kid and, you know, my mother and father beat the shit out of me and they don't fucking, you know, they neglect me and I hate school. School sucks because school isn't designed for kids that are traumatized, you know, and a gang is like, yo, work for us couple hours a day and we'll have you for life. That sounds like a good deal. That sounds like a good deal. What's the alternative? Go to college? Get saddled with student loan debt? Fuck that. I'm going to join a gang 10 times out of 10. But again, U.S. policy creates these gangs. They wouldn't exist without the war on drugs, and they also wouldn't be as prevalent with children if parents actually knew how to raise their kids. But parents can't raise their kids because they're too busy working 28,000 jobs because this country fucking sucks dick in hell. And so parents never learn how to raise their kids, and they keep popping them out, though. You ever notice how fucking much, like, these people are procreating in this country? Like, my God, can you, just fucking shut off the spigot for once? My fucking Lord, Jesus Christ. But anyway, so we have these gangs that prey on children and get kids in there, and then they start killing each other in school shootings. So, again, I don't know, man. This is like two great candies that go great together. We got school shootings and gang shootouts. I mean, damn, that's pretty cool. You can make a movie based on this. The gunman, identified by police as Preston Walls, 18 of Des Moines, also shot William Holmes, 49, who founded the Starts Right Here program. The police said in a statement on Monday, Mr. Holmes was hospitalized in serious condition. The two dead victims, 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, whose names were not immediately released, were residents of Des Moines. The police, well, that's interesting. They were going to school in Des Moines. I mean, presumably they're residents. I mean, thank you for that very important information. You're telling me the people killed at a Des Moines school lived in Des Moines? Holy shit, I would have never fucking... Wow, I mean, thank you for that update. Mr. Walls is believed to have shot the two teenagers because of a gang dispute, the police said. Mr. Walls was wearing a court-ordered GPS ankle monitor as a pre-trial release condition after a weapons charge and cut off the monitor about 16 minutes before the shooting, the police said. Mr. Walls walked into a common area at Starts Right Here on Monday afternoon carrying a handgun with an extended ammunition magazine, the police said. Mr. Holmes tried to escort Mr. Walls out of the area before Mr. Walls began shooting, according to the authorities. After shooting at two teens and Mr. Walls fled on foot, the police said. Mr. Walls was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and criminal gang participation. Now, once again, the cops are not... Their role in society is not to stop crime from happening. Their role is to create crime from nothing, right? And then, every once in a while, do something good and then take a shitload of credit for it. Right now, again, cops, they make gangs possible. Without cops, there would not be gangs. Why? Because police are the largest gang in this country. And so what they do is they criminally enforce and one-up the black markets of these drug trades. And, if you're selling drugs that are illegal, you got to defend yourself from the other gangsters, right? In this instance, the police. You got to arm yourself to the teeth. Everyone's got a shitload of guns. Guns are just flying around, right? Cops make everything fucking worse. What we need to do is repeal the Controlled Substances Act. What that would do is dramatically reduce gang activity in this country. Why? Because what else are gangsters going to do? What else are they going to do? Go get a job at the fucking grocery store? Right? If they can't make millions of dollars selling illegal, quote-unquote, drugs, where else are they going to get money from? Think about it. So when we talk about ending the war on drugs, right? What this also has a side effect of doing is dramatically reducing the power of criminal syndicates operating in our country. Look at Mexico, for example. Cartels didn't really exist. All of a sudden, the war on drugs starts, and now cartels control the whole country. Funny how that works, right? And again, we live in a broken country where kids are just able to be talked into joining gangs, and it's probably better than the alternative. And again, little children... 18 years old to me is a child, right? I would say 20-year-olds are children, right? Let's be honest. Your brain doesn't really fully develop until you're at least 24, in a lot of instances 26, right? So these are children, and they're killing each other over dumbass bullshit, and it's only possible because of this country's policy. This country created these gangs, this country killed these kids, and the cops are going to pretend like they're doing something. But cops are not there to stop crime from happening. They're there to show up. They're there to create crime, then show up after the crime happened, and then say, we got this, and then hope everyone forgets about it until the next criminal spree. So once again, everybody, we live in a broken country. No one's going to help your kids. No, you shouldn't be having kids. I don't know. I want to, if there's anything I can do for my audience, if you were thinking about having a child, I highly suggest you don't. Because is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Come on now. I mean, seriously, I'm not having kids in this country. Jesus fucking Christ. This country would have to change dramatically, or I'd have to leave the country and go fucking somewhere else before I'd think of having a child. My fucking Lord. My Lord. And again, private school, it's a charter school, so, am I really that upset that someone, obviously, right, it's a school that's trying to do they're trying to get their community credit, whatever. But still, what are you going to do?